Hi, everyone. Hi. My name's Lisa Cooperman. I'm a registered dietitian. I live here in Simsbury, Connecticut, and I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. So don't see anyone's faces right now. So I'm finding it very strange to talk to squares of names. So if anyone doesn't mind, I'd really like to see a face or two. It would be wonderful. um, so if anyone has a specific question, hi Sharon. Yay, a person. Yay. More people. Oh shoot. I didn't want to talk to squares. Hi Christine. Hi. So I'm yours for the hour. Ask me anything you want. So I can talk a little bit too, but I can't sing and I can't dance. So that expectation's out the window. So, like I said, here, let me tell you my background. So, as a registered dietitian, hi Linda. I have had, you name a type of job that a dietitian does, and I've probably done it. So I started out working in Dorchester, Massachusetts, in an inner city neighborhood health center. And I worked with a very interesting population that I had never worked with before. This was 1998. I also ran a food pantry through that position, and I worked with halfway houses for individuals that were coming off of prison sentences. And I taught them nutrition skills and cooking and all sorts of things. I also had a position through that job at a teen center. So I worked with pregnant moms and high risk WIC individuals. So from there, I moved to a different location in Cambridge, 180-degree turn. I worked over at a Cambridge teaching hospital, and I was their outpatient dietitian. So I traveled from doctor's offices that were associated with this particular hospital, with Mount Auburn. And I was there for about a year and a half. Didn't like giving up my weekends on a pager, so I found something new. And another dietitian and I worked together to create a nutrition weight loss program at an all women's fitness facility. And then that was going really well, but we had made the decision to move to Connecticut for my husband to continue his education. Excuse me, just had dinner. And then while I've been here now for, what year are we? 18. This is my 19th year in Connecticut. And I absolutely love living in Connecticut. I grew up in Long Island and went to school in all sorts of yep. So if you have a question and you don't want to speak out loud, you can type it into the chat and I will keep my, if I don't see it right away, just point like this because my eyes aren't the best. So when I came to Connecticut, my husband was working finally after I supported him in school for 4 years. And I took a little break, but then I got a part-time job at a group homes for developmentally disabled adults. I did that for a while, and I had a couple of other things, and then I opened up a practice, and then I had kids, and then I closed my practice, kept up the group homes, and then I kind of took a couple of years off because my kids needed me. Those kids, they drained the life out of me. My hair used to be dark. See, they drained my hair color away. And now I'm here. You too, Linda. And now I'm here. Yes. Christine, you have a question. Okay. Wait. You have to unmute yourself, my friend.
About 25 years ago, when I'm in my 60s, before any of this gluten business was even heard of, I was diagnosed with a skin test as having an allergy to wheat, and that was extremely weird at the time. It's like, what?
Yes.
And so I was told, I didn't know really what it meant. The allergist said, well, you're allergic to wheat. And I, everything's wheat. So I ignored it. I didn't go to anaphylactic shock, which is all I understood allergies to be. So fast forward many years, and now everybody's got gluten-free this, gluten-free that. So could you explain the difference between an allergy? I mean, how real is it? All these people can't be allergic to. Is it really allergy or a sensitivity,
So
or is it a decision? Just I don't want to eat gluten because I think it might be better for me.
it's a combination of all the above, I have to tell you. About 3 years ago, I was not a true believer in a lot of food allergies. And I was noticing in my practice at the time that people were, I don't feel right when I eat gluten, and this is just doesn't make me I feel bloated afterwards, and my GI is all messed up. But so what I have done, and then I worked at a camp. So I still work at this camp up in Massachusetts called Camp Emerson, and I run a food allergy kitchen. And I modify meals for these children that have significant allergies. So to answer your question, being in that position and then having to do additional research and additional just fact finding on my own, there has been in the last 20-25 years such an influx of diagnosable allergies. So
What do you
25
mean by
years
allergies? You don't mean anaphylactic shock, do you?
Well, there's two different things that I'm lumping into one. I apologize. There's your allergy, and then there's your intolerance. And now there's kind
Intolerance.
of right now there's sort of a third category of oral allergy syndrome, or OAR, OAS. And what that is that stems off of your seasonal allergies. Like if you're allergic to birch, you may be allergic to X, Y, and Z. If you're allergic to ragweed, you might be allergic to these types of foods. And when I say allergic, it's an oral allergy, which means you'll have some sensitization in your mouth, where you'll have itching, you'll have numbness, you'll have tingling maybe, but it will not lead to an anaphylactic shock because it's not the same system that's causing the other types of allergies. So it's not your IgE or your Ig immunoglobulin defense. So in terms of gluten sensitivity and gluten allergy and gluten intolerance, when I first learned all about it, it was called celiac disease and tropical sprue. And they don't even use tropical sprue anymore. They use gluten intolerance. It's actually coded in the ICD-10 codes as non-celiac gluten intolerance. So it's a completely different pathway of gluten intolerance that is not yet 100% understood. So when people say they have a gluten sensitivity, it may or may not be true because the jury's still out there. There's no 100% documentation of, is it left field or is it right field? And now they're starting to also do a lot of research with your biome and your gut health and your probiotics. And someone was just asking about like collagen and apple cider vinegar. All of that stuff, the jury is still truly out on all of that. And a lot of times people will take these things and they'll really feel that it helps them. But is it really truly helping them? Unless we're really, we have sensors inside our stomach and to see what our microflora is going to be, know. We really don't know. So we keep reading, we keep researching, we keep doing our thing, and I I will present what I know. Um, so does that answer your question? That was kind of a big roundabout.
I think that's about, well, I don't know that anybody has the answer right now. It just seems to
No,
me that
I honestly,
there
there
probably is
are
something to it, but it just seems like everybody just can't believe that all these people, everything,
people
there's
are
such a whole industry now.
right.
That'll go away. Maybe that'll be a fad that'll go away. It was all fat free, that it was all sugar free. I don't know.
Um,
But I don't know. I know I have more energy when I don't eat gluten, but I was tested for it with a skin test. So I don't
right.
know. I
And they don't do for gluten now, they don't do skin testing. They do it's a GI. It's
I'm sorry.
microbiome. I think it's
Okay.
more of a microbiome. Someone just messaged me wanting to know
So
about
maybe
probiotics.
that was I don't know.
Linda, did you have a question? No? Oh, okay, I thought you were saying. Sharon, do you have a question? Not right now? Okay, so someone else was asking about probiotics. Um, I think the realm of where nutrition is going is that probiotics are going to be standardized. It's going to be almost like taking a multivitamin. We think of, oh, we got to take our multivitamin because we know that's the best thing to do. We also take our calcium because we know the risks of osteoporosis and bone loss as we age. We know vitamin D now because the vitamin D is needed to hook up with the calcium in order to allow the calcium to enter our bones better. And now there's a new vitamin K, which helps to unlock the D to help unlock the calcium. So there's a lot new, you'll start to see a lot more vitamin D with K supplements on the market, and that will be advertised soon. Um, in terms of probiotics, I don't have a brand specific, but I can look one up for that person who is interested. Um, it's really, I would look for one that's as natural as possible. I'm not sure the FDA has actually regulated anything in this part of the industry yet. Um, but I like to get my probiotics from food rather than to take a supplement. So you'll find your probiotics in yogurt, anything that's a fermented food. So vinegar, so like if you were to make a coleslaw, or um, my husband likes to drink the kefir, which is the yogurt drinks. So that's an option too. So we like to eat and drink our probiotics. It just absorbs into your GI system better. So excuse me, I always feel like if you could get what you need from your food, it's less likely you'll have to take it in a form of a pill, but the pill is also the insurance that in case you have a day where you don't do what you're supposed to do, at least you're covered. So it's like carrying around cash, but you have a credit card just in case. So that's the way I look at it. Some doctors who specialize in gluten have information on their websites. Okay, so if everyone can see, Shirley Widon has now posted a few websites for us to look at. Okay, I'm trying to find, Jean McNulty says, I'm trying to find healthy veggie burgers. I see hydrolyzed soy on the protein. Is that, oh, good question. I like I like all sorts of veggie burgers. I also recently discovered something called jackfruit. Has anyone tried jackfruit? You can buy it in here. I'll write it here. So that's what I will use that as a protein substitute, but hydrolyzed soy protein is a fine choice. It just means that it's been processed a little bit. I think any sort of soy is great, unless you're a BRCA positive person. And if you're not aware of what BRCA positive is, that's just the you're positive to a certain type of breast cancer that you could potentially you're at high risk for. So in that situation, we would not, if you are BRCA positive, we wouldn't always recommend soy. So and the free apps, what's the one I was using? I like Foodly. What else do I like? There's a couple of basic ones. Gosh, not the same, not the same. I'm sorry, I don't have my cell phone in front of me because I left it downstairs. I feel very unprepared. Hold on, I'm messing up my phone. So I think I can't remember what some of the, does anyone use a specific calorie tracking app? My favorite calorie tracking website is Calorie King. It is just super easy to use, but I don't know if they have an app yet, but that's where I go to look stuff up for calorie and protein and nutrition content. And in terms, so someone else is just, oh, Miss Linda wants to know about our yogurt. So yogurt is pretty, so doesn't have much added sugar or undesirable synthetic sweeteners, but straight can be pretty tart. Yes, yogurt can be all Greek. So in terms of yogurt, I always tell people to remember that when you look at the label, you've got at least 12 grams or 10 to 12 grams of sugar or carbohydrate coming from the natural source of dairy. And you will get, like, if it says 20 grams of sugar, I'm trying to see if I have a yogurt. So I have this one. Is that familiar to you? Okay, so this says, I know you guys can't see this, but this is 140 calories. It's one serving size. Now you'll notice that the cups of yogurt are getting smaller, smaller and smaller. Long ago, they used to be 8 ounces, and then they went to 6. Now this is 5.3, and we're all still saying we're paying the same price. So it really bugs me when they do this. This is yogurt, 1 cup serving, which is this, despite the amount of ounces that it has changed. It is 140 calories and 16 grams of carbohydrate. No fiber, because it's yogurt. Come on, there's not going to be fiber in here, unless it's been added in with something called inulin, which is a dairy produced fiber, which is also a probiotic, by the way. It has 15 grams of total sugar. So the labels now say included sugar and added sugar. But the way it's written on here is includes 10 grams of added sugar. So they don't clarify if that 10 grams is from the dairy or if it's from a sweetener. But then, in my opinion, if you go down and you look at the ingredients, your first ingredient is yogurt, your next ingredient is water, and then sugar. And then fruit and vegetable juice for coloring. So what's really your best choice when it comes to yogurt? I would say the one where you can pronounce the ingredients And yep, I can pronounce all of these. And then should it be whole milk? Should it be non-fat yogurt? Should it be, I recently have learned from some studies that fat-free dairy is now not recommended versus a lower fat or a traditional whole fat dairy. There's a group of cardiologists that have been pushing studies that say whole fat dairy is actually better for you because more people will drink it. It's more satisfying and it's more filling. So if you have 40 calorie difference, so say if you went with the non-fat, I call it the Oinkos yogurt, but I know that's not how you say it, but because I have kids, I like to say fun things. So if I go with the whole milk yogurt, whole milk Oinkos versus the non-fat Oinkos, it's a 40 calorie difference. It would probably make you feel a lot fuller and would probably hold your, like if you were to have it as a snack mid-afternoon, it would probably hold your appetite more than having a non-fat and not feeling very full afterwards. So it's sort of a picking and choosing as you go through. So some non-fat dairy yogurts contain probiotics, but are also a high fat content. And are there still choices? So delicious, unsweet vanilla. Oh, the soy yogurt versus silk unsweet vanilla. I'm not sure what the question surely is. Some non-fat, are there still healthy choices? I would probably go with the less saturated fat, but you have to look at your entire day too. So you're talking about two different yogurts. One yogurt is 4.5 grams of saturated fat, and the other yogurt choice is 1 gram of saturated fat, but 15 grams total. Look at it this way. The 14 grams of the total minus that 1 gram of saturated fat, that's going to be an unsaturated fat. We don't get enough good, healthy, unsaturated fats in our diet. If it's a omega-6 or an omega-3 fatty acids, if that's specified on the label, then that, I hopefully one day our labels will go there, but that would be your best choice. So I would probably, I would say either choice is going to be fine. I like to try to have as much unsaturated fat in my diet as much as I can because it's going to make me feel fuller. And personally, I have very, very, very strong family history of heart disease. So I have to be very, very, very careful with like saturated fat, meat fat. Eating too much. I don't eat red meat anymore because my cholesterol was climbing and it was all hereditary. So that's what I do. What type of oils do you guys cook with? Anyone want to answer? Olive oil. Okay, sorry. It's getting close to my bedtime. So olive oil is a fine choice. Does anyone else use anything remotely different than olive oil, like a canola or a grapeseed or when you start to use a variety of oils in your diet to cook with, whether it's canola or walnut or avocado, or you're going to start mixing up the variety of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids that we get into our meals. So it's always a very good idea, especially if you have some sort of cholesterol issue going on or family heart health problems. So I always recommend a variety of oils to cook with. Yep. And canola for baking. Yep. But you may even want to try like grapeseed oil for cooking too. So
Can
see,
that
so
take
there's a,
high temperatures?
what's that?
Can that take high temperatures?
Grapeseed oil can actually take a higher temperature than the olive oil can. The grapeseed has a high smoke point, higher than olive oil. So it's really a good option to just for variety's sake too. So there was a question about body mass index for people over the age of 50. I have been told I have lost height. Yes, I know, me too, which sends my BMI completely out of reach. I think if when it comes to BMI, I don't think, ooh, where did everybody go? I don't necessarily think that, there's this whole health at any size or fit at any size. Um, broad theory that you could be healthy at any weight right now if your lab work is good, if your bone health is good, your cholesterol is good, your blood sugars are good, um, you're exercising like they recommend, which is um, 5 times a week for 60 minutes a day. Yeah, I try, but I don't always get there. And then especially with the cardiovascular health exercise as well. So you really can be above that 25 for BMI and still be consider a healthy person. But I wouldn't go past like 27, 28, 29. So, or at least try. It's just, if you're not, I always think if you're trying, you're going to be in your, it's going to be your best bet. Like giving up and eating a whole tray of brownies, not such a good thing. So to make salad dressing and high smoke point. Yep, avocado oil would be a good choice. Let's see. How do I raise my good cholesterol? My total is not a problem, but my good cholesterol is less than 50. So to raise your good cholesterol, you're going to want to do a combination of the oils that we were just talking about, getting in all different varieties of unsaturated fats, your nuts, your seeds. Let's see who asked me that. Jean, where's Jean? I don't have your face on here. But Jean, do you ever make smoothies for yourself? So if you ever make a smoothie, yes?
No, I'm not really a big smoothie person, actually, but
I usually am. I'm not a fruit smoothie person, but I like to do peanut butter and banana and chocolate soy milk or chocolate almond milk,
okay.
because that gives me that like Reese's peanut butter feel, but in a smoothie and a healthy drink.
Mhm.
And to that, I'll add ground flax, and you don't
Okay.
even taste it.
Mhm.
And that has those omega fatty acids in there that will help with your HDLs.
Okay.
So like your HDLs, you want high, happy HDLs. That's always just to tell people.
Mhm.
And for your LDLs, you want them lower because they are lousy. So you will never forget.
Okay.
See, so what else? What about like red yeast rice or any sort of supplements like that? Do you take anything like that, Jean?
No, I don't.
No? Okay.
No.
What about eating oatmeal on a regular basis?
Yep, I do eat oatmeal on a regular basis. Trying to
Okay.
eat more avocados.
Good, good,
But
good. When you have a salad, what about nuts? Do you have any allergies to like walnuts or things like that?
no, I don't. I mean, I could put them in salads,
Yes.
I guess, not eat too many of them that way.
Right. Remember, it's just the handful. You just
Yeah.
want to put a handful and then throw it into your salad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when it comes to peanut butter, or any sort of nut butter, I always recommend the more natural the peanut butter where you actually have to stir it. the
Okay.
better it is for your heart.
All right.
So I know if you're in town, Fitzy's has its own little machine in the back. It's adorable.
Yeah. Thanks.
Sure. Sure. That's what I'm here for. Let's see. They sell ground flax meal. Yep. I mix it with yogurt. It's a good thickener for, ooh, I've never tried putting it in chili. What a good idea. That is a good idea. Thank you. So is everyone reading all the chat stuff? Someone's recommending to use ground flaxseed in chili. And I guess you really could that would really, that whole concept of adding it to something like that. Yep, to help with your cholesterol. You can add it really now I'm thinking of it, you can add it to anything. Like I just made cowboy stew for dinner. Oh, so good. And you can add a couple of tablespoons in there right now. So no one's even the wiser. And if you make a sundae for your kids, ice cream, ground flaxseed, just say it's a new, this new treat. They'll never know. A little chocolate sauce on top. Whipped cream, some more flax. Sorry, nutrition humor. So does anyone have any other questions I can help them with? No? I feel like a teacher. I'm gonna start calling on people. Mary Beth Jordan, do you have anything? What else can I tell you? Does anyone have any disease specific questions like diabetes or anything? Anyone have diabetes? Anyone have carb counting questions? No? Good.
What about as far as osteoporosis? How can you get more bone building?
More bone building? Well, it's a combination of what you eat, how you eat it. So you don't want to take all your dairy, all your calcium in at one meal. You want to spread it over your day. And the recommendation for people in our age range is 1,200 milligrams, but you're probably never going to find a supplement that's 1,200 milligrams. It's always far more. Why do you think that is? Because our body doesn't absorb that much. So we may eat 1,000 milligrams, but it's really absorbing. A lot has to do with your biome, your gut biome. So if you're very acidic that day, if you are anxious about something and your body's secreting a lot of HCl, or you have a lot of acidic food, or you had an extra cup of coffee that day, your calcium, your 1,000 milligrams, you'll probably only absorb like 150, 200 milligrams. So what your GI biome or internal digestive area is going to affect how much you absorb. So that's why we say take a small amount, 200 to 300 milligrams at a time in food throughout the day. Use a supplement as that insurance, as that credit card in case you run out of your cash. And then bone strengthening exercise. So any sort of impact exercise. So walking. Why do I keep hitting that button? Walking. So your body is pounding and building bone strength. Using light weights. Anything of that sort of nature. Even hiking, I've read, is a good choice. So we
I have a
plenty of that.
question.
Sure.
Yeah, well, actually 2 questions. What kind of supplements do you take? I mean, I've been taking quite a few recently. And also there's lately been a trend on when you eat. And do you eat, not eating after a certain time?
The intermittent fasting.
Yeah, intermittent fasting. I don't know if that's
Mhm.
something that has any
Thank you for
validity.
bringing that up. Yep, that's a huge thing right now. The jury's still out on that one too, but it's looking good. It's looking like, if you eat, I feel like my hands, you can't see my hands. If you eat, so here's your 24 hours. If you eat like in a 10-hour window,
Right.
it gives your body that 14 hours to go into a natural rhythm of sleep and digestion and rest and whatnot. And it sort of allows your body to reset itself. So there's more and more evidence that that's a good thing. So,
In
eating
terms of
wheat,
losing weight or in terms of health, do you know what
general
their
health, in general health.
general health?
Mm-hmm.
And what supplements do you take, or would you recommend that people, say
personally?
mostly women our age, a little bit older women, what would you recommend that we all take?
Multivitamin. I recommend a calcium supplement. I recommend a vitamin D with K built into it. So those are my main ones. I know a lot of people like their cranberry, a lot of people like their folate. So it depends on what your blood work looks like. That would be something that's individualized, but those three, those multivitamin, the calcium, and the vitamin D with K are my go-tos. So, yeah. Let's see, is there more questions here? Let's see. Some experts say that grains are heart healthy, but others claim that they're inflammatory. What are your thoughts? Hey, so Shirley, I personally like my grains. I think the grainier, the better. So when it comes to like a white rice versus a brown rice, your brown rice is obviously going to be your best choice. The more naturally harvested something is, the better I think it is for you. If your body has to take its time to process it, and the way we release our insulin in order to digest and break those carbohydrates down, I think the better it is for you. And in terms of an inflammatory response, the inflammatory response is really based on the simpler the carbohydrate, the higher the inflammatory response. So your white rice, your white flour, your sugar. So, and think of it this way. If you were to sit down and have a good, healthy meal on an empty stomach versus having a tray of brownies on an empty stomach, how are you going to feel afterwards? You're going to feel better after a regular meal than something that's going to cause our insulin to spike and then drop really quick. So that's my opinion. Are there foods that I stay away? Are there foods you recommend staying away from? Well, everybody has a trigger food. So if you have a trigger food that you cannot control, then I say if you don't have strong willpower around that food, until you can build that willpower up, that's a food you stay away from. So as an example, when I first met my husband years and years and years ago, we we got into a fight over who ate the last Dorito. So that's a trigger food for the both of us. So guess what we don't have in our house? We can't keep that type of stuff in the house. We just, nope. What's the difference? Yeah, D3. When I say D, I mean D3. D3 is the better form of what you need. So, and how is it different? Vitamin K is just an extra added vitamin in there. There's new studies that show vitamin K helps to unlock the vitamin D, to unlock the calcium and increase the absorption. If you would want to get in touch with me after, I'm sure I can send you some research information, some articles, if you would like to further read upon that. So what do I stay away from in above Doritos? I personally try to stay away from a lot of sugar. A lot of sugar does not make me feel good. However, I am a self-proclaimed chocoholic, and if I don't have a small amount every day, I'm a bear. So I have Hershey Kisses are kind of like my go-to. If I have 2 a day, I'm happy. If I have 10, I don't feel good. If I have none, I'm grouchy. Uh, so that's what I do. I like my coffee. I am a big believer that caffeine is a good thing in the morning. And tea has a lot of good positives in it too. It has tannins, and that's also supposed to be a good promoter for gut biome. So, for sure. Mary Beth, to answer your question, I would have to know more specifically, are you having an overall higher elevation of blood sugar, or do you have like, do you wake up in the morning and your blood sugar is high? So my generalized recommendation for diabetes is to have controlled carbohydrates at each of your meals. So somewhere between 15 and 20 grams at breakfast, lunch, dinner, and trying to eat the same time every day. So that way your body becomes accustomed to the insulin release and how you can better manage your blood sugar that way. So. Christine, do you have a question?
No, no. No, I don't. Let me think a second here. Well, what time of day? If you're eating even within this is another thing I say, eat for breakfast, eat like a king, and for lunch, eat like a prince, and for dinner, eat like a pauper. Is that true, or is that just an old bromide?
I think it's really it really has to suit your lifestyle. Not everybody can wake up and have a giant breakfast. Some people, it won't sit well with them. Some people don't have time for that. Some people don't have the patience for that. Some people have kids, teenage girls that scream at them in the morning and have to get them to school. Gee, I don't know who I'm talking about. So it's all different. I find that I personally have my coffee first thing in the morning, and then sometimes I don't eat for another 2 hours because I'll exercise and try to get some sort of fitness in. And then I will have a small breakfast. I'll have a small lunch. I'll have a small, if I don't, and my personal thing is, if I don't have an afternoon snack, my dinner portion's too large. If my dinner portion's too large, my reflux is gonna kill me. Like right now. That's why I keep burping. Sorry, because I didn't find time this afternoon for a snack. And I had 2 bowls of my cowboy stew at dinner, and as good as it was, now it's sitting on my stomach. So forgive me.
Have you ever heard the studies where they say that people drink a lot of diet soda actually gain more weight than people who? Is that because something in the additives in diet soda, or is that maybe people free people up to think they can eat more? I found that interesting that people say that when they, I don't know why that would be, but
Christine, it has more to do with the brain. It has more to do with the brain chemistry, and what the fake sugars are tricking your brain into thinking. It's not just always, it's not just specifically, well, I had a diet soda, so now I can go ahead and have a bigger piece of chocolate cake. It's more on the brain chemistry level of, now your body, it messes around with how your insulin is being released. It's messing around with how it's breaking down carbohydrate in your body. So it goes a lot further than just the I have no calories coming from my soda, so now I can eat it somewhere else. It always cracks me up. Not that I have not walked into a McDonald's in like 20 years, but and I'm happy my kids think it's gross. But going into a fast food place or going into and seeing people eat a huge giant meal and have a diet soda, like just have the soda. You're not doing yourself any favors. Just cracks me up. I can attach my cowboy stew recipe if anyone's interested.
You know, speaking of fast food, they say that the best place to get a healthy fast food meal is Wendy's. They say that the baked potato, this was at some spa, I heard about this. A baked potato and chili is supposed to be very nutritious, not particularly very low in calories, but a great substitute if you're you really can't get anywhere but fast food. A small chili, it's about 450 calories, which isn't very light, but it's very filling and it's all nutritious. So
right, and I bet it's probably has some good amount of fiber in it too.
Yeah, a plain baked potato and their small chili, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and if you
there's a
could
hint.
even have a if you could even do like a salad on the side with that too, your body, that would be a great meal. So, let's see. I've read about that too. Your body tastes sugar and awaits sugar and possibly cravings. Personal opinion. I feel it is not a healthy choice. Water or even better salsa diet. Oh, and no, cowboy stew is not vegetarian, but you can make it vegetarian because I don't know any vegetarian cowboys. Do you? So, um, so I'm not sure about this question or comment. So I think I feel it is not a healthy choice to drink water for healthy water. I think healthy choice. I think drinking more water. I don't think us as a society drinks enough water. I've read that they used to say 8 ounces, 8 times 8, 64 ounces a day. Well, I've also read that half your body weight should be in water. So if you weigh 150, it should be 75 ounces. I always try to drink at least 100. I don't make that. And I think today I probably did hit it because I was being more mindful knowing that I was going to talk to all of you tonight. So, and let me see. Does anyone know how I can attach a document to the chat? Oh, wait, I can.
Yes, there should be a thing that says file over there in the chat.
File. Oh, you're teaching an very old dog.
So where the chat boxes where you see
Oh
everyone
yeah,
typing.
look at that. Wow, thank you. My kids teach me stuff now too. It's kind of scary because I still teach my mother stuff on the computer when I can get her on a Zoom call. So, where am I? Oh, wait. Wrong way. Hold on. I'm getting there. Old dog, new tricks. Okay, cooking class, Manic Mondays, cowboy stew. There's my recipe. All right, there it is. So you'll see that the recipe calls for bacon, and I use everything turkey or chicken. So are there any foods not to eat, such as coffee with iron-rich foods? Well, Sharon, it depends if you're anemic or if you tend to be anemic, then you would want to stay away from like coffee and iron-rich foods. And the only thing I would if you have coffee with spinach salad, that doesn't usually go together. But if you're to have coffee with a cereal that had iron in it, then I generally like milk in my cereal, but if you like coffee in your cereal, that might be something I'm just kidding. Something to question yourself about. So we can, discuss that further at any time. Iron's a tricky thing. Iron is very, very, very hard for your body to absorb if you're susceptible to being anemic. And generally, if you have to take an iron supplement, you have to take an iron supplement. That's just no ifs, ands, or buts. So, which reminds me, I need to start taking mine again. Thank you for reminding me. So they always say it takes a village, right? Okay, so we have a few more minutes left. If anyone has any more questions or comments or things they want to share, I personally would like to promote my Instapot. It is my best friend in my kitchen over my husband. It does exactly what I tell it to do. It's awesome. I was able to get rid of my slow cooker. I'm able to get rid of my yogurt maker. I still haven't used it to make yogurt. And I'm hopefully going to find that day one day soon. But trying something new can be a little daunting for myself. And it's my goal this year is to try new things, like talking to all of you. So I hopefully will try some yogurt one day, because I heard yogurt in the Instapot is so good. Has anyone tried it? No? Well, if you see me on Facebook, I'll let you know when I make some. So, does anyone have any more questions? No? Okay. Katie, I know you can hear me.
Yes.
Hi, Katie.
Hello.
How are you? Do you have a question?
Let's see. I know I'm a chocoholic too, so that's my guilty and anything really salty.
I
So,
know,
yeah.
and Valentine's Day is coming up, so I have to stay away. I have to stay out of these stores. The minute you walk in, you're hit like CVS, Fitzgerald. Oh, I just can't. So
Yep.
it's, again, no Doritos, stay out of the chocolate stores. So do you have
Alright.
any good smoothie recipes with banana? Yes, Sharon. So my secret recipe is 1 banana, 1 to 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, and then 8 ounces of chocolate almond milk. And then I'll add in flaxseed, and then I'll add in a scoop of protein powder. And I like to use the non-flavored protein powder that doesn't have any artificial sweeteners in it. So that's my recipe. And I'm telling you, if you're not a sweet, I don't like the berries and the yogurt. That's the only smoothie I make for myself. Sometimes if I'm feeling adventurous, I'll throw in some kale because you can't taste it. But generally we eat our kale at dinner. So
Do you count calories?
no,
Do you weigh yourself often?
I do. I'm not turning any younger, so I have to be careful. I think everybody needs to be careful. So I've been finding that as I get closer and closer to 50, it's like I've said, my family, when it comes to heart disease, I've already lost a brother. I lost a dad at an early age. It's no joke. It's really no joke. You have to take everything seriously these days when it comes to food. So, any more questions? Do I count calories? No, but I eat at least 2 to 3 fruits and like 3 to 5 vegetables a day. So I portion it. I count portions in my head. And that's what I recommend for my peeps, my clients, is portions. Like, do you have enough grain for the day? Do you have enough dairy servings for the day? Where can we fit in some more vegetables? It's all about problem solving and, taking what your day is like and trying to make it the best that you can do. for yourself. So,
It looks like people are wondering where the stew recipe is because it doesn't look like it was attached.
oh, I see that it was attached. Sharon, were you able to get the recipe? File, I'll try it again.
No, I don't see it.
Try changing the
file?
chat maybe to everyone. That might fix it because it might be sending it directly to someone.
Oh, yes. Yes, that would be good. Yes. Thank you. Old dog again. I'll just blame that. There you go. Yes, no, maybe. It says sent successfully.
Yeah, it looks like it's there now.
Phew.
I'm gonna press save.
Okay, good.
Oh, it says I don't have permission to save it. So I'm not sure what that means.
I wonder what that means. Comments.
Let me see. I've never seen that before.
I think I did save it now. I pressed it again and it didn't say that again. So hopefully it's there.
Okay. Yeah, I can pull it up on my drive. I have it saved on my Google Drive as well. So maybe I could do it that way. Let's see. Well, thank you everybody for your patience. Click. Okay. Share. What if I hit share? Would that do anything? I hope. Okay. Oh, change link sharing. Okay. Anyone can get the link. Copy link. Link copied. Back to Zoom. Open you guys up. Chat. Paste. Sharing. All right. I did it through my Google Drive as well. So if anyone's ever interested, I do a free cooking class on Mondays through Facebook Live. Again, free, not self-promoting, but it's fun. I laugh a lot, so I can tell stupid jokes. And I always say, we'll have dinner ready before lunch. So, and if you don't get to watch it live at 10, it's on, you can click on me anytime if you really wanted to. But I'm usually chasing my dogs at some point. Oh, well. But I wanted to thank everyone for joining me this evening. I think there's a way to get in touch with me, right?
Yes, I can post your email if that helps.
Yes, that's fine. Thank you. So I'll type it in too. Yep. Okay.
Yep, it should have gone through.
Yep, that's me. So if anyone has any further questions or wants some information, I can lead you to websites or whatnot. Feel free to reach out. Okay.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
for
Thank you
the
guys.
program.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.